This is much heavier than I thought. Hello friends, my name is Lauren and welcome back to my channel.
Hello from 2020. Happy New Year everyone. First video of the year. Get hyped for that. I just want to pop up here and say that this video was filmed at the end of 2019, so I'm kind of referencing it as if it was that year still, but I just wanted to pop on here, say that quickly just to avoid any confusion, and yeah, let's get on with the video.
For today's video, I'm going to be going over all of the reading resolutions and goals that I have made for myself for 2020, and I'm kind of really excited. Overall, for the first half-ish of 2019, I think I did really well with my overall reading goal and read about like 5-ish books a month, which is pretty solid for me. But then the second half of the year kind of went downhill, especially from September and onwards, with me just reading a couple books each month, sometimes like barely anything at all. However, even though I know I'm going to be still really busy in 2020, I'm hoping to make room for more reading and get through more books in 2020, and hopefully this video will help keep my goals in check and remind me of what I'm trying to do, and also let you guys know in advance how I'm hoping my reading life will go in the new year. So without further ado, let's just get started. So first up, my Goodreads goal for 2020 is going to be the same as it was for 2019, which is 50 books. I fell a little bit short with my Goodreads goal this year, which is kind of disappointing because, like I said in the intro, I only read like a couple books in the last couple months, so I have not been moving very much with my goal, which kind of sucks. Currently, as to when I'm filming this, I have read 42 books, so even though I didn't finish my goal of 50 books in the year, I'm still going to keep it the same because I was making a list of all the books I want to read, and by the time I got to the list, there was already so many books, so I was like, you know, we're going to try for 50 again and just see what happens. So I've decided to keep my Goodreads goal at 50 books, and one way I'm going to try to help myself in reading more books is by listening to audiobooks more, because I found that you can multitask through audiobooks a lot easier rather than reading a physical book where all you can do is just read the words on the page. With an audiobook, you can be in a car, at school, walking, it doesn't really matter.
For my overall audiobook goal, originally I was considering like an Audible subscription to try to achieve my audiobook goals, but what I ended up deciding to do is use my library's audiobook service, so basically I can just rent audiobooks from there and it's free, it's great, and I'm also going to try to read one audiobook a month, therefore I'm kind of adding like 12 books overall to my yearly book count goal, so hopefully that helps, and that's my current plan.
Now for in terms of the books that I actually really want to read. So in 2020, there's around 10 or 11 new releases that I really want to read, and I'm hoping I'll be able to read all of them because I am really excited for a lot of them. So in January, I plan on reading the first 3 books in the Diviner series, I guess now, because the 4th book, King of Crows, comes out on February 4th, I believe. I have been wanting to read this series for a long time, and the fact that the 4th book is coming out early February is really just pushing me to finally read it because I've heard such good things about it. One of my favorite booktubers, Kat from Paperback Dreams, strongly recommends it, and so I really want to read it because if she loves it, I feel like I will also love it because she likes the book, you know it's gotta be good. I've just been really wanting to read it for a long time, so I'm hoping in the month of January I'll be able to read those 3 books. Even though I haven't been reading a whole lot lately, but like, dream big, ladies, dream big. Next, I have 2 books coming out on March 3rd, which is Kingdom of Back by Marie Lu and Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. Kingdom of Back is a book I've kind of been looking forward to reading for a while because I really love Marie Lu and her writing style and all her books that I've read so far, and the concept sounds really cool. While I don't know too much about it, I know that it takes the perspective of Mozart's sister, who was also a talented musician but never got the spotlight compared to her brother. And if you know much about musical theory, or even a little bit, you'll know who Mozart is. He's one of like the most famous composers of all time, and so she never got the spotlight, and it kind of, I think, dives into her perspective a little bit in that, and I don't really know too much about it, but that alone just sounds kind of cool to me, so I really want to read it, and the fact that I've loved a lot of Marie Lu's books in the past, I think will make me believe that I will also love this one as well. Also coming out on the 3rd is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare, and I am well aware that I have not really read many Shadowhunter books, but I have this really fun video idea I want to do. I'm gonna try to read this book for that video idea. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I think it will be fun when the time comes to read it. Next, at the end of March on the 31st, comes the 6th and final book in the Shatter Me series. Now, over March break as well, I'm hoping to read the 5 Shatter Me books and make some videos on them in honor of the 6th and final book coming out at the end of the year. I really love the Shatter Me series. I read the first 5 books this year, and I'm excited to reread them in the new year because I remember loving most of them a lot, and so I'm really excited to see if I'll still love them as much as I did this year. I love Tahar Mafi's writing style, the way she incorporates romance and dystopian in such a beautiful way, and always has such cool metaphors, and just the way she writes everything I just find so cool and like nothing I've ever seen before. So I am really excited for the 6th book to see where everything ends, and I'm sure I will cry multiple times and have my heart destroyed, but I'm hoping everything ends really nicely, so at least we'll have that in the fandom. Next up, I have a book coming out in April, which is Loveless by Alice Oseman. Now, Alice Oseman is a UK-based author, but I'm pretty sure she's gaining more hype in the general booktube community, and I'm really excited for that because I read her book Radio Silence twice this year actually, and gave it 5 out of 5 stars both times. I loved it so much. I have a full video up here if you want to check it out, but I just love it so much. And so she has another book coming out, and I still need to read all her other books, but I have a feeling that I'm gonna read this one on time when it actually comes out because I want to support her work and also read all of her work because I really loved Radio Silence, etc, etc. But Alice Oseman is probably gonna be one of my favorite authors once I read all her books, but I'm excited for that release to come out. Next, on May 5th, The Betrothed by Kira Cass is coming out. And if you don't know who Kira Cass is, she's the author of the Selection series, one of my favorite series that I've read. It's 5 books long and I really enjoyed it, and she's now having a new series start, but like a similar kind of concept with like royalty and romance, but a little twist on the whole thing. And so I'm really excited for that because I loved the Selection series and can only imagine her writing and ideas have gotten stronger and better over the years, and so I'm really excited for that. And also, do you see this gorgeous cover? It's enough reason in itself to read the book. Then, on May 19th, the whole fandom has been waiting years for such knowledge to arise, but The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins comes out then, and I'm so excited. This book is 636 pages, and I have never been more excited to read this book. I am planning to read the Hunger Games trilogy before then, in honor of the book coming out. It is a prequel taking place, I believe, 60 years before the original Hunger Games book, and I'm really excited to see how the world is because we've never gotten a glimpse really into the past and the Hunger Games other than like the Dark Ages, which isn't really dived into too much in the books, but I'm really excited for that. And we're gonna see a whole bunch of new characters, and I'm wondering if we'll see any characters we know in the Hunger Games originally. Who knows, but I'm really excited for that and cannot wait just for the fandom to explode once again. On June 2nd, we have another series finale coming out, which is One True King, which is the 6th and final book in the School for Good and Evil series. I made a whole bunch of videos on this series last year. If you want to check out my overall thoughts, you can click it up here to watch that video, but I really enjoyed the series, and I'm again so excited to see how the finale goes because there's so much possibilities of things that could happen based off where the last book ended, and I'm honestly just so excited because I just love this series because of the magical vibes it gives you, not even because it's written fantastically, just because it's just fun to read and fun to explore. I'm really excited to discover the world again and see what else comes up in the next and final book. I promise we're almost done this list of new releases that I want to read, but in October we have Sky Hunter coming out by Marie Lu again. I don't know too much about this other than that it's by Marie Lu and that comes out later on in the year, but apparently it's a new fantasy series she is releasing, and so obviously gotta support her, gotta read that because like I said earlier, I love Marie Lu and her writing and all her books that I've read so far. I really just can't wait to read this new one because I can only imagine with time her writing has gotten better and her ideas have gotten stronger. I'm just excited to see what else happens. Hi, I'm just popping in here to let you know that there's actually one more release I want to read for this year, and it is the 2nd book in the Shadow Frost series. There's no exact release date for it yet. I believe it's set to come out in October, but I really want to read it. It's the 2nd book. Just wanted to pop in here and say I have that book I also really want to read. And lastly, this is a book I don't 100% know is coming out in 2020, but the expected release date, which is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V. Schwab. V. Schwab is one of my favorite authors of all time, and she's releasing this book that she's had in her mind for so long, and is finally going to be released sometime in the near future, so I don't know when it comes out, but if it does, you can count on me planning to read it. I do have a few more challenges I've kind of set up for myself throughout the year, so I'm excited to share those with you now. First being the Throne of Glass series. I bought this last Christmas and still have not read it, so in 2020, it's gonna happen. I am planning to read one book a month for the first 8 months of the year because there are 8 books in the series, and I'm gonna read this and it's gonna happen, at least by the end of 2020. Oh, that's so heavy. I wanted to read the Throne of Glass series for the longest time because it has gotten so much hype, and a lot of people have said it's good. Some have said other mixed things, but I'm excited to read it nonetheless because I've heard it's some good reads, and so I already invested in the box set, so I'm gonna read the box set. whether or not I like it, I'm going to read it. So the plan is to read the books from January through August, at least one book a month. That's the kind of like rough deadline I've set. If not, I have 4 extra months to kind of catch up on reading it, but the goal is to read the Throne of Glass series by the end of 2020. Another goal I've set myself is to read some business books. Now, every video I post to my channel kind of revolves around some kind of YA fantasy or YA book or some fictional book of some kind, but I actually really want to read some more business books because that's what I'm interested in, and there's just so much knowledge out in the world that I don't know, and I feel by reading a lot of these books I'll be able to gain some of that. And so my goal is to read a business book once every 2 months, so around 6 throughout the year. I have some I'm looking at so far because I want to pick out some good ones that I'm really gonna like, but I kind of want to just expand my knowledge a little bit, and hopefully that goal will help me do that. And finally, my last goal of the year is another 6 books that I want to read, one every 2 months, and it is kind of a buddy read with my friend Caitlin. It's not really a buddy read, but basically I've given her some of my top favorite 6 books. She's given me her top 6 books of 2019, and so I'm going to be reading 6 of her favorite books. So from her, I will be reading Eliza and Her Monsters, The Raven Boys, Rebels in the Sand, The Lightning Thief, Six of Crows, and Caraval. So that's my plan to read from her, and I'm really excited because if she loves them, I'm hoping I will love them as well. So that list of books that I'm planning on reading is 43 books out of my 50 targeted goal. So do I have doubts that I will finish all of these? Yes, but like I said, go big or go home. Like if you don't have big goals, you won't achieve small goals. So start somewhere. Maybe I'll read all of them even more and surpass my 50 book goal for 2020. The possibilities really are endless, and so I'm really excited for that. So hopefully I get to read all these amazing books this year and actually stay on track to my reading goal and read some books every month. But other than that, those are kind of my 2020 reading plans for the year. I hope you liked this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment down below if you plan on reading any of these books or if you have any opinions on my reading resolutions. Hopefully I'll be able to read them all, but like, we'll just have to see how the year goes. That is all for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'll see you very soon in the next one. So until then, bye.